everybody! This is the very last episode of Craft Hags that will ever happen, as far as I know. And we have very mixed feelings about that, but yeah, this is my husband, Chris Ron. You can find him on all the things at Chris Ron Art, I believe. Is that your Instagram too?
Yep.
But yeah, I'm lucky enough to have him on for the last episode, and I know I've talked about him a lot over these 2 seasons. Lucky. Okay, well, okay, so we are lucky because we are both in the office today working on secret concept arts that you probably won't see for 2 years. But that's super awesome for us because it's our first time working on the same project together, which is like pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And stuff.
It's been a lot of fun.
But as promised, this is a Snack Hags episode, and the original plan, which you all know, was that I was going to dress up as Scrummy, and that we were going to cook on stream, because I've always wanted to do a cooking stream, and also that we were going to start at 11 a.m. And none of that happened.
I mean, we're kind of off location anyway.
Yeah,
so
we're off location. I didn't want to try to cook in here. There's not an oven or a stove or anything necessary for that, and
cooking smells would probably last.
There's a sprinkler right there too, which I'm sure would have gone off, and you know,
like what we thought happened this morning.
So this morning I started cooking all this stuff, and as soon as I turned on the oven Tyler Jacobson's in there saying, "Eat the food, Chris."
Don't listen to Tyler.
Don't listen to Tyler.
We never listen to Tyler.
But as soon as I turned on the oven to boil the eggs, the whole hotel's fire alarm went off. Chris was in the shower, and he thought it was just me because I have set off the alarm at the hotel in the past.
Well, and I looked out and I see you running around with a towel trying to wave imaginary smoke away.
No, you have to like wave the whatever fumes it thinks it's smelling away from the thing, and then you can usually get it to stop before it alerts the entire hotel. But it wasn't even me today. We got out there and everybody was in their towels, and
I was soaking wet because I was half finished with my shower.
But somebody out in the lobby had used the toaster oven incorrectly, and it smelled real bad. So it wasn't me this time. But I did get to cook stuff. I couldn't dress up this morning, which was sad, but I'll make it up to you guys somehow, I promise. And what else did I mess up? Oh yeah, no, I didn't mess this up. They had some technical difficulties here this morning and needed some extra time to make our stream all purty. So we can blame Pelham for that last problem.
I had to get all the makeup filters going, so we look this good.
We look this good. You're welcome. But yeah, let's eat some stuff.
Okay.
Do you want to eat?
Can I just stick with these? Because that's
No, this
terrifying.
is the good one. Babe, you don't even know. Chris hasn't even tried either of these yet. First, we'll start with this one. This is the, I call it the Slain Beast. If you want close-up images, I posted them on the Craft Hags Twitter this morning. That's at Craft Hags.
This isn't roadkill, right?
This is not roadkill, I promise.
It's very convincing.
What I did was I found this recipe for like, they called it blood clots or something online. I searched Halloween treats
really beating around
because
the bush.
I know that those kinds of things are like pretty easy to like move over into fantasy. It's, you know, it's all the same. But so what this is God.
I can't even tell what's cherries or bread or spleen.
Okay, so what I did is you start with some of the biscuits that come in a tube. I don't think we can talk about brands here, so you know the tube biscuits. That's really good. But
it's black.
So you rip up the tube biscuits, you throw them in a pot that already has simmering. They said cherry pie filling. I got
cross section's really
shut up.
Really nice.
I got just a can of cherries. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
Not bad, right? It could use a warm up because it's like a dessert.
It's like the infomercial thing. Like, yeah, Ron, this is delicious.
It's not the right temperature at
No,
all.
it is good. It would be better warm, but it's
But
delicious.
so, simmering the dumplings in, I mixed whiskey, the cherry sauce, I pitted a ton of fresh black cherries and kind of mashed them up, and that helps with some of the gore. And then after those have been cooked, I mixed in some dark chocolate chunks, and then there's also clove in there, so it's a Christmassy flavor.
Yeah, with the smokiness of the whiskey and the clove.
And it's not too sweet either. It's like, it's got some fruity, like when you hit the cherry, it's super fruity, and then
Yeah, definitely.
the chocolate's not overwhelming. They like it looks like barbecue pork. Thanks, Crystal.
It's really weird to eat something that tastes really good, but every effort has been made to make it look as unappealing as possible.
I'm good at that.
Fighting my my senses a little bit.
It's super delicious, man. But yeah.
Who knew dragons had that many guts?
I know, there's so many guts coming out of the
It
dragon.
just keeps pouring when you stab them.
Yeah. You wouldn't know, but there's a portal inside every dragon that leads to an endless plane of guts.
It's highly pressurized, too.
That's where all their power comes from.
Box. It just doesn't stop.
Stop it.
There's potential concepting going on right now.
Yeah. This is how you build worlds, people.
It's very
So
true.
I did tweet out that I would answer some questions from Twitter. Also, feel free to shoot us questions in the chat. We can see it.
We'll try to catch them.
Yeah, if we don't catch you, just say it again. Nobody's going to get mad at you. And if they do, they're out. But yeah, here's one. Actually, that's a serious one. Let's start with something less. I'll start with you, Forrest G. Emerson. You asked me, will you still post cool stuff you make to the Craft Hags Discord? No, I won't. I'm super sad that Craft Hags is ending, but I'm starting a lot of other things in my life, and I would really like to put Craft Hags to bed. I want the Discord to keep going if you guys want to keep it going, but I always wanted that to be kind of a place for you guys to start your own community and make friends and share with each other there. I might pop in every once in a while, but honestly, there's about 20 other things going on in our lives that we can't even tell you about. So we are max bandwidth right now
Yeah, the rest
on
of the
life.
year is looking pretty scary.
So yeah, are you able to talk about those awesome things you are moving on to? Well, we're moving. That's one. It's going to be a big ordeal because we're moving in with his mom. Or she's moving in with us, whatever sounds cooler.
Whatever you want to call it. Selling houses, buying houses, super relaxing. And
yeah, just leisurely activities across the board. Yeah, and then there's a lot of job stuff that we can't talk about too. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I really wish I could keep up with you guys, but I'll probably be doing less crafting, especially less crafting that I could even show you. So.
But I mean, you're going to be posting everything you can on Twitter, so that's probably the best.
Yeah.
I
won't not be posting any things, but I do want the Discord to. Oh, Crystal says the Discord will live on. So head on over there. I will post for sure the Discord link later today, just to make sure you all know where to find it. I'll pin it to the top of the Craft Hags Twitter. How about that? That way, and I'm not going to delete any of that. That's all going to be there for you guys to share on and talk to each other and stuff and keep it going. And you know, if Craft Hags comes back someday, I don't want to have to start from scratch. So we'll leave all that up there. Let's get another question. Oh, that's not a question. Okay. What was your first commissioned D&D themed item you ever crafted? Let's start, because there's a two-part question there.
It's the helmet.
My first one was the helmet and the axes. For Storm King's Thunder, they were huge, giant-sized axes and helmet. Those are up on my website, I think, if you want to check that out. I made them for PAX West a couple years ago. And yeah, I was in for a push with you. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in on the... He was, and I followed him into the building, is what I mean by that. And I met the team, and I was like, hey, I make stuff if you guys need anything made. And so
you already had like a ton of projects that you were able to show them. Like
yeah, I had a small portfolio.
So and all that stuff.
All good. But yeah, what was your first, let's ask you these questions too. What was your first D&D job?
First D&D job. Unlike most of the people that work on Magic, I didn't come up through D&D, so my first thing was for John in like 2010, I think, and it was a cover for Dungeon Magazine. I don't know if people have seen that because it was so long ago. I mean, I have reposted it, but it's been a while.
Have I seen that?
Yeah, it's...
What was it?
I've shown you. It's a scene of like a Dragonborn and one of the Warforged, like underground, fighting a bunch of these plague demons. And yeah, it's quite a scene.
It sounds like
It took a while, all in oils. And yeah, it was intense. That was back when the art descriptions were like, here's all these files and all this stuff.
Oh,
you gotta read all this lore.
That's funny.
I've definitely gotten better at narrowing it down a little bit.
Yeah, hitting an illustrator with too much information is unhelpful sometimes.
Yeah, D&D is a big universe.
Okay, well, so this will be for both of us too. What was your favorite commissioned D&D themed item that you've crafted? My favorite has been, I think, the Acererak costume for Perkins. It kind of had to come together really quick because of a lot of scheduling stuff, but it was really fun. Awesome. And like, I really liked working on the leather and then the pauldrons that spelled Perkins in infernal text. That was a super fun project for me because it was just specifically for Perkins, and it was, I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah. Well, and all the felt, like you were able to do all that puckering.
Yeah, and I got to use all my favorite, what's the word for doing things? Techniques.
There's a few.
There's a few. Okay, so what was your favorite commissioned D&D themed item that you've crafted with your paints?
Yeah, I guess every painting's technically crafted because they're all over here.
Crafted it.
I don't know. I think in terms of like final art, it was probably, well, both of the pieces I did for Storm King's Thunder. In terms of final art, that was the first time I'd come back to D&D to do final art after that dungeon cover. It was probably like 6 years in between, but me and Tyler did the Storm King's Thunder concept push and kind of came up with the looks of a lot of stuff, and then a bunch of the concept art that we did kind of got translated into final art that wound up in the book. So like,
they've used that for a few things now too.
Yeah, the one of the fire giant and the storm giant fighting in like the quickly being ruined city.
It was like in the middle of a storm.
Yeah,
it's a really cool
intense
piece.
Scene, but it started out just as like a quick concept sketch of them battling, and they decided they wanted that to be a full page spread, so now that's in the book. That one's up there for
Tyler
me.
says Chris paints in the real.
It's true.
Which is a dumb way to say that Chris paints with oil paints, whereas...
And I'm constantly badgering Tyler to get back into doing that too. And he hasn't yet. But maybe we will. Maybe
hey,
you all
everybody,
could pressure him as well.
Tweet at, what is it, Jacobson Tyler? Let's look up...
You can find him.
Let's look up...
Yeah, it's reversed on Instagram or Twitter. I can never remember
It's on
which
Twitter,
one,
I think. Let's find this. We're gonna send you all after Tyler.
A lot of you probably follow him because he did all of the
at
covers
Jacobson Tyler, Jacobson Tyler. So you guys tweet at him and tell him that he needs to use real paint because then you can sell them and people will buy them and it's good money. Also, it's cool.
It's more fun
Tyler.
than Photoshop.
Yeah.
Let's just badger Tyler for.
That's the plan.
That's what we normally do in person.
That's what I did last week here on Craft Hags.
It's true.
His mini ended up pretty cute. It was fine.
It's almost like he has way too much experience painting minis.
Maybe.
From Warhammer.
Yeah, maybe. He says, I paint in the virtual. That's a fancy way to say you're a cheater.
It's true. He's
Just
like
kidding.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Photoshop is not cheating. Do not ever say that. Any of you. I was a bad girl. I should not have said that.
We always just badger each other for whatever choices we've already made.
Yeah. It's just how we... Okay, now I need to find those questions again. Doop, boop, doop. It's a great show, huh? I'm going to eat more of this stuff.
Yeah, it's quality.
Mm-hmm. We have a new question. Is Danny's dad going to help you move to Seattle? And I bet you can guess who asked that. My dad.
Well, it depends
Dad,
on whether he wants to come all the way from Colorado
you're
or not.
allowed to help us move to Seattle?
Yeah, we will be recruiting every person with a pair of hands.
My
that are
dad is a
functional.
dork, you guys.
That's why you're
He's
such a
also
dork.
very supportive, and I appreciate him. Here we go. Speaking of, okay, Tyler, you answer this one too. What non-standard brushes do you use in Photoshop, if any?
I don't. I do all my concept art with stock BS because it's rough. It's about the ideas. It's not about the finish. So
Yeah, same here. I think I might have a set that I downloaded that were lace because I just needed to like make a graphic, and I bet like, and then I might have a cloud brush set.
yeah.
But I never just use the cloud brush set because it looks like you used a cloud brush set.
Well, I mean, to me, with concept art, like it's one thing with finals. That's a whole other thing. But with concept art, like you can just go down the rabbit hole and waste your time worrying about brushes when it's really ideas what you're making. Get the idea down, move on. Like it's about speed. It's just a totally different animal.
Yeah. Tyler says, I use like 3 brushes, some with texture. And so...
very specific and helpful.
some that are feathery looking. He's an eloquent beast, that Tyler Jacobson. But yeah, like, I mean, there are some artists that really, really like brushes and like, you know, they like square ones with texture. They like...
I always like to warn like aspiring artists though and young people that are trying to break in, like different brushes are great, but they're not going to make or break anything you do, and it's something that you can get really distracted on. I mean, it's the same thing with people that work traditionally. Like you can get super into like, oh, this one sable brush that this master used, I got to get that, and then I'm going to be good.
It's made from mongoose from the hills of the Alps.
Everything that's important is what's going on in your mind and things you've learned.
No matter what brush you have, it's not going to make you a better drawer. So you're not going to get better at lighting or anatomy or layouts.
I mean, there are people that do finals for Magic that do the entire thing in like a hard round. you know?
Yeah. Somebody wants Craft Hags t-shirts. You know, if there were enough of you that would buy them, I might do that, but I don't think we have that kind of audience, sadly. Tyler says we're 100% right. He never says that.
Who stole Tyler's phone?
I know.
I admitted I was right.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one's a little serious, but I like it. We can get serious on here sometimes. What would you consider to be the most prominent positive influence that sci-fi fantasy has had on your life?
Man.
Richard Witters.
Really? Reggie?
Yeah, Richie. He's the he's the guy that basically, I mean, I think in general I would say like the people who have shown me how to use the hobby for good. Like I talk about this a lot, but I've played a lot of really bad D&D before coming here. And like bad, I just mean like, you know, people worrying about the rules really hard when that's not my thing, which totally turns me off to it. Or just being like running a game that isn't super story driven, like that's definitely like for me. And like I think honestly like meeting the people here and like seeing how much they care about it and they care about the possibilities for the brand and like, and not just like D&D, but like people who really care about Lord of the Rings or really care about World of Warcraft or like
it's a shared thing.
Yeah.
Between people, you know, you can bond.
And it kind of doesn't have anything to do with the real world, or we try to make it that way, which is nice because there's enough that divides us in the real world. And I don't know, that's like my biggest positive influence, I think, is that like when you're around the right people, you really see how powerful all of this like game stuff can be. It's like, it's fun. It's fun, but it's also like touching. right?
Yeah. I mean, for you, all this, it's definitely like an adult realization, I feel like.
Yeah.
For me, it was from being a kid, like growing up in the middle of nowhere, very few people with my similar interests, and just not having a ton of stuff to do, being able to dive into Lord of the Rings and the Wheel of Time and drawing all the characters that I was reading about when I was like 12 or 13. It was this awesome escape that eventually like connected me to a bunch of similarly minded people, and then like that was the start of a path. And even like playing Magic when I was in junior high before I got too busy drawing to continue with that. It's like this weird loop where I started out as a fan and then started doing the art and then met a ton of people and went to art school, and now, suddenly behind the scenes, but it became my life in this weird, unforeseen way, but it probably saved me from a pretty bad road. Doing if I didn't have that,
any of the other things you would have been doing,
it would have been problematic, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's lame to say, but it can save people, I think. Is there anything about sci-fi, fantasy, tropes, perception, etc. that you would change? And if so, why and how? I'll let you start on that one.
Yeah, I mean, doing concept art in particular, that's something we do a lot, is try to take the good from the past on D&D or Magic or whatever you're working on, but, it's like the push to get away from unrealistic women's armor. It's pushing to make things more not historically accurate, but like influenced by realism. Like, oh, if you were actually attacking somebody with an axe, would this help? Or is there a big open spot right here that makes no sense just to sell books, So to me, that like adding more and more realism is really cool and important because it makes it so much more immersive and so much more believable, and like feel like you could be there, because like there's rules from the real world that make the fantasy world feel more grounded.
I think specifically for me, the thing, it's the first thing I think of on my own, but the person who asked this, TK, I've talked to them about this in the past on Twitter. It's unfortunate that there are so many rules to playing certain kinds of people. Like elves, are, respected and, like wholesome and stoic and there are personality traits that like obviously you have to kind of separate the groups a little bit so that they're distinctive enough to be inspiring.
Yeah. It's like culture versus individual character.
Yeah, like I definitely wish that that gaming industries would focus a little bit more on like these vague suggestions instead of being like, no, if you're a drow, you're evil. Like,
yeah,
that's boring and lame, and maybe in the past drow had been considered quite evil, but we are learning that might not be the truth in, modern time D&D, like that kind of stuff. I felt, especially when I played with really bad DMs, I was like, wait, so if I'm a halfling, I have to be this, and this? And like, where's the room for me to grow?
Yeah. Like you should still be able to be a halfling that's like a gruff barbarian or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's atypical, but who cares? This is my character and I want to have fun.
I mean, like, obviously, a lot of people lean towards the atypical when they're making a character just because it's the most interesting option.
Some do, and some don't. I mean,
well, that's me, I guess.
Class is race, humans, right? Which is
human fighter.
Hilarious, because that's like the last instinct I would have.
I know, that's so funny. I guess maybe it's just me, but
yeah, but that's also what's awesome about D&D is like whatever your tendencies and personality are, like you can just go do it. It's not like, oh, you're this guy from page 6.
Yeah, yeah, and I really hope. I guess this is part of what we're doing as our jobs, but I hope that visually there's a lot more options for people, so that characters can be distinctive enough that you feel like it's your own
Yeah,
You
and
know?
with every group too, I mean, something I'm a big fan of when we get the time to do it, doing concept art is like, within each group, like, it's not, oh, this is what a Dragonborn looks like. You could be like, well, maybe these Dragonborn are shorter, these ones are taller, these ones are this, you know, darker, lighter, like diversity, not just amongst the humans, which is important, but amongst all the groups. Like there's so much room for like, within Drow,
Yeah.
you could have this whole range, and they've done some of that, but like exploring that stuff and pushing it is really interesting to me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, something that comes to mind is on C Team, Dinar Blitzen, who's a Dragonborn, has a tail, and that's a no-no in the books, I guess. And when I was making his costume, people were like, are you going to make the tail? Like, it was a big deal, like, whether I was going to follow the book rules or their own lore. But, like, I think it's funny that, like, maybe he's from a village of Dragonborn that grew tails.
Speaking of Dragonborn tails, that dungeon cover that I did, I'd never done anything for D&D before. I didn't know any of the rules.
That wasn't in the script.
The Dragonborn that I painted, this female Dragonborn, she's in the foreground with her back to you. Full tail. Like, this long.
Oh, man.
Curling. Never got called on it. Went to, not print, because it was online, but still, like, went all the way out. I don't know how that squeaked through, but I mean, there were different people working here at the time, but it's so funny.
Let's just blame Tito.
Is Tito even here?
Tito's not even in the building. It's, well, no, he's not literally here, and he probably wasn't here then either, but.
It was not under him.
Let's blame him anyway. There's a sticker for it and everything.
Oh, I have another thing that came to mind when we were talking the other day, just aspiring future stuff that could potentially come into something. I need to pitch this. Is, all right, so you got a half orc. What's the other half? It's always human. Like
it is.
I would love for like an official mechanic to be like, all right, it's half orc, half tiefling, half orc, half halfling.
I want a half orc, half tiefling for sure.
Like half what?
Man,
that's huge.
Why haven't they done that?
Like half drow, half orc.
Why haven't we done that?
Or, you know, not necessarily orc, any combo. I mean,
everybody in the chat, tell us what. Okay, so half orc, half halfling is a quarterling.
Yeah.
Orcling.
I think if you're just a quarter halfling, you're a quarterling.
This is becoming fractions in math, and I don't want it. I don't want it.
Halfling, dragonborn hybrid.
So we've got half orc, half dragonborn. Oh, that would be real good.
A drork.
Oh, so they say on Rivals of Waterdeep, someone is a half orc, half elf. That's awesome.
See, that's cool.
That is cool. Man.
Like, if there was just a way to combine whatever the mechanics are from each group.
Sorry. The chat, some queen just said, human equals dire halfling.
Half orc, half tabaxi. Furry orcs.
Crystal.
I think tabaxi dragonborn would be the craziest looking one. It'd be like those goblins from Labyrinth or whatever they were, the feathery things with the scales.
Pelham's like, ugh. Wait, no, there will be no musical numbers today. Well, I want to eat these eggs.
Oh man, yeah, we got to show these.
So yeah, they're turning brown
off
because of the avocado that I put in them.
It just makes it more authentic.
It just looks better, right? But so what these are, there's a better picture online, again, at Craft Hags on Twitter.
The bottom of these.
Yeah,
things.
they're, what I tried to do, okay, it looks better when you do it like right before you serve them, but you hard boil the eggs. You can go ahead and eat it. You don't have to wait for me, but.
What if I do?
You don't. Okay. I'll talk and you, but yeah, it's hard boiled egg and then you crack the shells with like a spoon. Yeah, that's the color it's supposed to be. You crack the shells with a spoon, but you don't take it off. And then you put them back into water with food coloring, or if you don't want to do that, I hear the recipe.
They suggested blueberries.
They suggested blueberries, which I feel like would make the eggs taste a little weird. But if you're against food coloring for any reason, blueberries work. But yeah, then it makes this really cool crack pattern when you take off the stuff, the shell. And then the rest of this filling is just avocado, the egg yolk, wasabi, And then I put in some garlic and onion to really round it out and make it taste a little bit more like guacamole. But
and
yeah.
it's got those black sesame seeds.
Yeah, and then black sesame seeds just to make them look even scarier.
Wasabi spicy.
I try not to make it too spicy.
It's not too spicy. It's good.
You might like get a clump of wasabi. It'd be like
Did you make a trick one?
a surprise one. That one's for Tyler.
I'll drive it over to him afterward.
Who eats a deviled egg like that? Stuff it in your mouth. Well, I am on camera, so trying to be a little ladylike.
Yeah, it's true. We're trying to pretend like we're not the beasts that we actually are together.
Okay, now you talk. I have to chew this.
No, let's just watch. It's really good. Who eats it like that?
Quit
That's
it!
so weird. Oh man, what else are they saying?
The unicorn has a cutie mark and a bloody horn. Oh yeah, so there's a story here. This is our savior, the unicorn, who slayed this dragon. And you can tell because I put some cherries on the end of his horn.
So is it going to raise all these dragon babies?
No,
It's a horn.
it cooked it with its unicorn magic,
Oh,
and that's why we get to eat them.
man. Yeah, this is like a scene from Alien right now.
Tyler says to mail him the trick egg. The one that's all wasabi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are really good.
I know. I'm going to try not to just sit here and eat
No,
these
eat them.
disgustingly on camera.
This is what they want. They want us to put these in our mouth. Ooh, somebody said Goliath tabaxi. See?
Oh, man.
Okay, half dragon, half unicorn. They have found love in the end.
The other night at Richie's, I was playing a half tiefling.
Were you?
Mm-hmm. Just half human, but yeah.
We should talk about that game. Okay, we won't tell you everything that happened at the game.
That game that should not be repeated.
No, but
At least not in the official stream.
we Richie DM'd a game for us the other night. It was a meat grinder, but he had twisted the rules around a little bit from a normal meat grinder, where when you die, you become undead.
A revenant.
A revenant.
Yeah.
And so when you die, you like get undead powers or whatever, and you can you're in like a hive mind with all the other undead that are in the game, which are all NPCs. Mm-hmm. But then Richie texts you secret information, and you get to text back to do secret things to all of the other players who are still alive. And at one point,
the first thing he texted me was, "If you take life, you will regain life."
oh yeah, and so Chris decided to kill me.
The first one to die.
He decided to kill me to save his own life.
No, that was before you realized.
Explain
what I could
yourself.
Do. Your attached twin, that was the bogey that you rolled, started saying things like, "Oh, don't trust him. He's dead. Don't trust him." So I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess it's on."
Oh my
and I'm
God.
going to use the information I now have. So yeah.
And then you killed me.
I killed you, and then you came back. And then I was alive, and you were a revenant.
Yeah, and then I probably can spill this because I don't see us having time to play another session of that game, but I was totally turning all of the... Tyler's quoting our game now. Yeah. Tyler was there, same with Titus Luntner. He's another artist that's in for D&D concepts right now, and then Adam was there. He came late, so he didn't get to roll up a character, but he added to the fun. He was a crucial part.
He was dying the whole time.
He was dying. It was so funny.
Titus almost couldn't take his turn. He was laughing so hard.
Titus was crying and choking.
He's used to very
rules heavy.
rigid D&D
yeah.
games.
This was not that. This was
Richie reads an entire adventure off of his phone.
that he made up earlier that day.
Yep.
He's a magical DM, and I love him. Yeah. What was your character's name? Chugler? Let's just stick with Chugler.
Let's just stick with Chugler. I shouldn't even say
the rest
whole
of it
thing.
was probably not words that we should say on this stream.
Man.
But if you're interested, I tweeted about it.
HR called on us.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, I'm gonna, before I eat that, let's see if there are any more questions really quick. Doop, 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 doop. I might have answered all the ones on Twitter. We so did. So hit us with questions in the chat. We are gonna go until 1, but if you guys don't ask us any questions and we have nothing to talk about, we're gonna leave and go to lunch, so. No, this is fun. We'll just sit here and eat this all day.
Just keep BSing.
Let me, oh, now my little sister is asking if she's gonna help with my family is just
this is just planning live stream right
now. Little sister, you totally are required to help me move to Seattle. I'll pay you with pizza.
It's true. And we'll just pump her for concept art ideas while she's here.
Callie, did you know we're gonna use you for your brain?
It's true. She's plugged into that younger generation.
Oh, so I got quoted. There's a portal inside every dragon that leads to an endless plane of guts. I like that. Question, do you need help moving? Happy Rogue Games, thank you.
Oh, man.
What's your favorite snack food at home? Yeah, we're getting to the good questions now.
Oh, man. Well, we've been trying to eat better lately.
Your go-to is hummus and chips, which I think is the most boring snack on the face of the earth. Chips. I mean, if we're talking...
Your guilty pleasure is those frozen White Castle burgers.
Don't tell them that! I'm ashamed.
Let's burn this thing down. Last episode. Destroy
all the
everybody's
secrets
expectations
coming out. Man.
Yeah, they're not good, but they're good.
Chris, is Watsy putting you in the same closet they keep Tyler?
Yeah, you know, they got like a cot, but it doesn't quite fit this way, so you gotta
What other fantasy-themed snacks or treats have you made? None. I actually, this is the first time I've ever cooked. For D&D stuff. Like, if I had a weekly game that I could go to, it would be a thing I do. I cook a lot. I really love to cook.
Human food.
So, yeah. Okay, so somebody said, what's your dream character to play, race included? But before we get to that, I really quickly read that while I was talking, and I tweeted a couple days ago about my dream chair and how it did not look like all of the racing gaming chairs that you see everywhere. So I thought that's what that person was asking about until I reread the question. But let's talk about these freaking racing chairs that we're expected to sit in while we play video games. Yeah. Where's the Skyrim chairs?
Right?
Like...
Yeah, like
we're not all playing Grand Theft Auto, where or what is Need for Speed?
Games,
yeah, no, that's like such a small amount of the games. You'd think like, where's the Fallout chairs? Where's the our house is decorated like Skyrim, basically. Yeah, so kinda. We could never put one of those things in there.
Yeah,
it's awful. But my favorite character to play, race included, is Scrummy, right? Definitely Gnome Warlock. She's the only Warlock I've ever played, but she's a lot of fun. I know they're designed to be ergonomic, but they're ugly. I mean, if you like them, that's fine.
Yeah, we're not talking about the parts that support your body. It's all the other parts
that could be shaped that way and not that color. Yeah. Or all of those colors, or the stripes.
Orange and yellow are the only options.
Anyway, the Iron Throne chair. See,
made out of actual swords.
So what if you could like take that expanding foam stuff that I used to make some of the props, like LARP foam, basically. So you'd like sculpt the huge chair, right, and then like put in the lumbar support and the little neck, you know, and everything. But like you carve it so that it looks like it's made out of swords, and then you cast the whole chair. Okay. So that you could paint this foam in like silver and stuff, and it would look hard. But then you sit in it, and it's like a squishy mound of swords.
And they all just like bend when you lean into it.
best chair
Could
idea
do, like,
ever.
evil claw feet that just have like a caster inside of them so you can roll around.
Yeah, and then like drink holders, small
For
cooler.
your authentic big gulp.
Yeah,
I like it.
we got
For
this.
your kombucha.
Giant mushroom throne for Scrummy. The art guy plays gets it. Yeah.
You should cast a giant mushroom chair. It's just shaped like a mushroom, but it's like a beanbag.
Just put it in our new house. Next time on Chair Hags.
Yeah, we're just going to design furniture.
These are
from
the
now on.
important questions, you guys.
It's true, it's true.
Just put rollers on a lazy boy. Crystal, I have actually caused myself much of the current pain I'm in because of my years of having pushed a lazy boy up to my desk where I drew and played games.
Didn't you have a monitor like leaning over you?
Yeah, it was like the dentist, but I had this really old lazy boy. I gave myself so many back problems thinking that
Some
thing.
weird 90s hacker.
And then you just like, and then you just like fall asleep and you're like, oh, this is great. Oh.
And then you wake up and just keep painting.
Yeah, you never have to go anywhere. It's great.
Oh, man. Closters. Definitely.
Hit us with more questions,
Yeah,
peeps.
I feel like that question came off of another question, though.
No, our
Did we
dream
not
character.
answer? Oh, yeah.
Did you answer?
No, I didn't.
What's your dream character, like class
I don't
and
know.
race?
I like doing something different every time because we wind up doing a lot of one-shots because we're only over here for like a couple weeks at a time. But I mean, it makes me sound dumb, but I have a lot of fun with like just big, like bashy paladins or barbarians, like huge dude, whatever race works well
It's
with
really
that.
funny when you play dumb characters.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing like dumb, bashy characters.
The real Chris worries about things way too much and is very analytical. And so seeing him play dumb is really funny for me.
Yeah.
And
it's a type
enjoyable.
of problem solving that I don't normally get to apply in my daily life.
Ooh, favorite book.
Oh man,
Oh man.
that's a list.
My favorite book is not a fictional book. I'm like,
I see where this is going.
no, stop it. I'll just I really like neurobiology, and this one lady wrote a book about she was a neuroscientist and she had a stroke. And she wrote a book about her process and experience of healing from the stroke and coming back and working
Analyzing
and
her own brain being
yeah,
messed up.
it was
Yeah.
so cool. It's called A Stroke of Insight. I don't remember the author's name, but she's amazing. Yeah, that's my favorite book. What's your favorite book?
I mean, favorite's a strong word, but like Dune comes to mind. Like the
Just
Dune,
list all the books you love.
Dune series is super good. Big Lord of the Rings fan. A lot of just classics from back in the day. Brave New World. It's a really formative one for me. Classic sci-fi.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I love that stuff. Yeah, I know.
What's the last one you said?
Brave New World.
What's that
It's
about?
Aldous Huxley. It was written like forever ago, like in the 20s or 30s or something, but it's kind of like 1984 George Orwell science fiction.
Oh,
about,
cool.
Like a genetically engineered society, and the only people that like have normal families and kids live on reservations, and they're seen as like subhuman because they're not like perfectly engineered. It's pretty twisted, but really interesting, and I feel like it becomes more and more relevant as time goes by.
Everybody's talking about the book I talked about, so
Yeah, well, they're your fans.
Jill Bolte Taylor, or Bolt Taylor, whatever, I don't know how you say it, but somebody does know what the author's name was, and she did give a TED Talk, so if you want the shortened version of the book I read that I really like, there is one out there.
Yeah, you almost went into neurobiology.
Yeah, I was going to study neuropharmacology, but I wasn't good at math, so they wouldn't let me into med school.
It's like Tyler was going to be a biologist.
Lol, artists are just a bunch of failed scientists. That's
He's very particular about his anatomy, though.
well, I mean, knowledge is helpful when you're creating other things.
It's true.
So
cross training.
Okay, so what science would you have gone into if you had the math grades for that?
I've been a biology animal nerd for like ever since I was a little kid. I mean, a lot of that same stuff applies to me. Like I love doing like creature creation and species building where you're like, this would work because of this, and applying like all the esoteric, seemingly useless stuff that I know about animals and history and evolution and all that stuff to fantasy creatures is one of my faves.
Yeah, it's really nice when you have a lot of like factual information to base creative decisions on, because then you're not just like pulling something out of your ass. You're like, oh no, this is how it works in real life, so we know how to make it look like it would work in real life, in fake life.
Yeah, and I mean, like pulling fantasy away from like the cheesy 70s, 80s stuff that we all know and love, but it's still like, if you can bring a level of realism to it, it adds all this gravity and depth that I really like. Like when I read a fantasy novel, like that's how I see it, and that's what I get excited about. Like, what would that really be like if you're in a room with that thing,
Yeah, making it immersive for people.
Yeah, yeah. Just all that depth really feeds it, I think.
Yeah. Someone said, apart from Scrummy and Acerac, do you have a project you loved to do? I think the C-Team stuff for me was
a huge project.
It was a huge project.
All those costumes.
Yeah, it was 5 costumes for one event. I don't know, the armor for Dinar was really, really fun.
Yeah.
We got to make it look as realistic as we could within the time constraints,
like
but
exactly how you
it was a lot of fun. And I really liked trying the challenge of trying to turn him into a Dragonborn. That was
doing it in like a theatrical way.
Very stressful, but finding a fix for that was really fun. Sumqui says, what are your favorite monsters to draw?
Oh man. All I do is draw monsters.
Which ones?
I like the variety.
Which ones do you like the best? Okay, so I'm a fan, and I come up and I ask you for a sketch. Draw your favorite monster. And I only gave you $20.
Yeah,
so
well, I mean, this may sound cliche, but I really like doing dragons because they're so open-ended. Like, there's a million ways to do it. Like, they don't have to have wings. They don't have to have 4 legs. They don't, they don't have to have a crest. Like
they can have a beak.
Yeah, I mean, it could be an underwater dragon. It can be an ice Arctic dragon. It could be a jungle dragon. Like, there's just so many ways you can take it. There's a lot of room for creativity. And they don't have a real world equivalent. Like, there's only so many ways you can do a unicorn because it's based on a horse, but like the dragon's pretty
based on
open-ended.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's based on a lizard sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like the Tarkir dragons for magic. We're like, oh, this whole faction has fur and antlers,
Yeah.
Like, all right, sweet.
Crystal asked if I make clothes that I wear on a daily basis. I would like to, and I have attempted to. I mostly edit my clothes. Like I'll cut t-shirts and hem stuff so that it fits me better. But usually I've got a lot of other work going on and don't have time to just be like, I want to make a perfect hoodie. I mean, I have tried, I've started. There's a bunch of projects that I haven't finished that were meant to wear every day.
Yeah, right when you think you're getting to the personal work, that's when the phone won't stop ringing.
Yeah, freelance life is just so fun.
It is fun.
It is fun, but no, but like,
fun.
So you have like a job, a big job, and it takes up 3 months of your time, and then you're like, oh, it's done. I've got a few weeks before this other job starts. But then right when you think you're ready, you have like a little bit of time to start your personal work that makes you happy. And then somebody goes, quick, here's a bunch of money for a thing I need right now. In fact, 5 minutes ago. Can you do it? And you're like, yeah, money. And so then that fun personal work just gets set down for later.
By the time you get another gap, you want to do something else.
Yeah, yeah, that's...
Especially you.
Definitely my problem.
Just idea after idea.
My brain doesn't sit still, ever. But yeah. When was the last time you had time to do personal work?
Oh man, it's been years. It's probably that series of skulls I was doing. Like
Yeah.
the little mini paintings.
Those were really cool.
Fantasy creature skulls.
Yeah.
A few of them are on my Instagram. If
Chris
anybody wants to go
did.
back.
Chris did a bunch of fantasy skulls. We actually collect skulls because we're super normal, and
Very helpful for reference.
no, yeah, we mainly collect a lot of natural. I want to call them like natural history things, but they're the things you would find in natural history museums.
Like weird curios.
Yeah,
like
just
crabs
and, yeah, like pinned bugs and skeleton stuff, and
Yeah.
we also have swords all over our walls, and
Yeah, and you can write all of it off when you paint this stuff for a living.
don't tell him that.
No, that's legit.
Yeah, no, it is. It's work materials, but yeah,
It
so
literally is, yeah.
Chris did a really cool series of paintings based on skulls that we had, like. What were a few of them? There was a really cool pixie skull that you did.
Yeah,
and
it was iridescent.
Yeah, you used your brain magic to look at a real skull and then paint it iridescent.
Yeah, and the monkey one that we have. I used to
Yeah.
get the proportions shrunk down so that sockets look bigger and everything.
Didn't you do like a vampire one or?
Vampire one, did a werewolf one, did an orc one. That was based on a human and a chimp or gorilla and a few other things. But that stuff was really fun for me because I got to get into all of that biological,
Yeah.
what would make sense inside for all this stuff to work. Not just have like dumb tusks that come out of nowhere and look like they're growing out of your lips.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those were really cool. I really liked how you cemented your idea in science, but then took it into the fantasy realm.
Yeah.
They turned out really well, and I think most of them sold.
Fun. Yeah, all but one. We
There,
got a goblin one laying around.
There's a goblin skull. If you want a Chris Ron art original, it's about that big, I think.
It's like 6 by 6. Yeah.
But yeah, and if you want to see Chris's work, he's on Instagram at Chris Ron Art.
Yep.
That's
R-A-H-N.
R-A-H-N. Ron.
Ron.
This is a good show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you...
This is top level.
Yeah.
Only the top shelf for the last episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, Pelham,
man.
do you want some garbage food?
Sure.
Come eat some garbage food.
Yeah.
I really am
On
just trying to
cam,
get
on
Pelham
cam.
in front of the camera so you all can see his sexy new haircut.
Oh, man.
Get excited, chat.
Clean shaven.
There's a plate. Have some guts. I hope you're not allergic to anything.
Don't think so.
Okay.
Only dragon.
Yeah, it kind of stiffened.
It's only looking more authentic with time. though.
It's just becoming more roadkill-like.
Yeah.
Everybody look at Pelham, isn't he cute? So cute.
Got that baby face going.
Okay, we won't make you eat it on camera, though. He's like, thank God.
Put a mic on so we can hear.
Yeah, do you want to hear us eat, guys? Just kidding, I'm not doing that.
Gulp.
Hit us with more questions, guys. Or we're just going to keep talking about
Yeah. I'm
nonsense.
actively ignoring puns, by the way.
No puns allowed in this house. I'm allergic to planes of endless guts. Yeah, me too.
Aren't we all?
Okay, Pelham, is it edible?
It's good.
Pelham says it's good, you guys.
It really is.
Hey,
It's
I'm
weird
glad.
how well the bread works in there.
No, yeah, it's just those flaky biscuits, original flavor from Schmillsberry.
Pillsbury biscuits.
But no, they're really good. I think it might have been yummy to use the new honey butter flavored ones too.
Yeah, we did think about that.
Because they're super, this is super not sweet. It's sweet enough, but it's not just like a sugar bomb, which
Yeah, if
those
you got
things
more
are
of a sweet tooth.
super not my favorite. I'm not like a huge sugar fan, but this is good. Schmillberry po' boy. Oh my God.
We're getting asked about additions, and we're probably not even qualified to address
We can't
that.
answer addition questions. We don't know how to play with rules.
Well, and even on the production side, we only ever work in the art department, so that's like a completely different group of people that work on how all the mechanics work and everything.
Yeah, luckily.
We're kind of intentionally insulated from that so that it doesn't influence all of our choices.
What does the unicorn plate have on it? Those are, well, I would call them deviled eggs, but there's no mustard or anything. They're
dragoned eggs.
Yeah, they're dragoned eggs. It's avocado and wasabi with garlic and onion, and then black sesame seeds on top.
The bottoms look really cool.
Yeah, and the bottoms are. Don't dump it out the. But yeah, I dyed them so they looked crackly. They're really cute.
Yeah, it's interesting the way the dye comes in through the cracks.
Mm-hmm. And like, some of those I made last night, and some of them I made this morning, and even since this morning, the dye has like seeped out, which is kind of sad because it looks really cool when the cracks are really crisp.
Yeah, I think in a way this looks more like a healthy egg though, as opposed to just like a cracked
egg.
A
healthy egg? Oh man.
I can't turn my concept of mind off.
Tieflinged eggs is what they should be called.
They are spicy.
Makes sense. Do either of you just get inspired to do a fantasy art piece and just do it? I try.
Yeah, I have in the past, but when it's your job, it's really hard to cut out time in the schedule for
also,
work that may or may not.
When you do the thing that's the most fun in your life, it also ends up feeling like work anyway. So in your spare time, in our spare time, I would say like playing Magic and playing D&D aren't always at the top of our that sounds fun list.
Yeah, well, and you also have to you have to stay fresh and excited about the products to work on them.
Yeah.
So you also need time away from them.
And it's important to like branch out and like experience other genres and like stay.
We play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Because it's within our interests, but it's far enough away that it doesn't feel like you're using your work brain all the time.
Yeah, you got to give it a break.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated when you're struggling to put together a costume? I couldn't figure out how to read patterns, and so my costume never got finished. Oh, Kaylee Joyo, I'm sorry.
It's usually deadlines that are...
Yeah, usually it's a deadline, and that somebody paid you money, and if you don't do it, you're stealing from them, and then they sue you. So that's really good motivation.
Sometimes inspiration and fear are kind of interchangeable.
Fear is just as good as inspiration. No, I really like to remember the character that I'm working on and why I get excited about those characters. So when I'm working on C-Team, I will go back and rewatch some C-Team, or if I'm not caught up, I'll make sure I'm caught up. But then seeing their excitement about their characters and like remembering the reasons why I love watching them, like I get really into the story, and when like their characters are doing something cool, or like for instance Walnut, like really just loved her Documency bag and all the cool accessories. Like
they were so excited.
Remembering her passion for playing Walnut really is why I was like, oh, I gotta make this as good as I can. And like obviously you're under a lot of stress and things go wrong every day, and it's really hard. And like even when you know what you're doing, sometimes the serger will just decide to not work that day, and you're on a deadline and you want to kill people, and it's...
Or you get like a weird reaction with a die or something.
Yeah, or like something gets ruined, it's not going to work. Like it's very, very stressful for me, I'll be honest. Like, and it's the same with craft tags, and honestly, that's a huge factor in why I've decided not to do it anymore, is because like doing
it's
this...
a lot of prep, both mental and
physical. And I loved doing it, but there was a lot of pros and cons in my life, and I'm trying to downsize the things that stress me out and prioritize things that I enjoy and are beneficial to me. So sadly, craft tags had to be pushed off to make room for like costumes that I will be doing in the future. I can say that coming soon, you will be seeing new costumes for the Acquisitions Incorporated A-Team. I will be making a Omen Drawn costume for Jerry Holkins to wear, and Jim Dark Magic costume for Mike Krahulik to wear, and you will be seeing those at PAX's later this year, and that's going to be really cool.
Designs are going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sticking to the cartoon style. We're making these very realistic, and that's going to be a lot of stress, but also a lot of fun. But yeah, so just to make sure that my brain doesn't explode, I had to say, no more craft tags for a while. I need to be able to function on all this other important work. And then there's all this stuff I can't talk about that's also very stressful, but very cool and fun. No, Squid Riddle, I don't want anybody to ever think that craft tags was so stressful for me that I hated it. Like, it was a lot more work than I ever thought it would be. And that's just because I really like to try to give you guys the best experience. And, like, that stress I put on myself. And I'm just glad anybody enjoyed it. So thank you for being such a cool community and, like, responding well and not always just being like, oh, man, you've messed this up and you messed that up. Because that's what I'm saying to myself. So,
well, I mean, it's more just that your career and all your client work has just exploded, taken off.
Yeah, I've gotten really lucky that I'm way too busy. So
it's good problems, but yeah, it's like triage. Right?
Yeah. Have you gotten to work with Pat Rothfuss? I've met him a bunch of times, but no, I would love to make a costume for Pat Rothfuss. If anybody has Pat Rothfuss's number, I really want to make you a costume, Pat. I have designs for VR already that I think you would be excited about. Pat.
No big deal.
No big deal. I've already planned that costume in case it happens.
Yeah, and I mean, he already looks like the character, so, you know.
No.
Well, not his character, but he looks like a character.
He looks like a character.
But, like, he already looks like he walked out of the Forgotten Realms. It's pretty easy to play.
He acts like it. I like Pat. He's so much fun. What did the drow make you do? Why can't you talk about it? Did they cast an NDA spell on you? They sure did.
It's true.
It's a
this entire building secretly run
legally
by
binding spell.
The drow syndicate.
How do you know if you're really in love with someone? Oh yeah, we're getting the good questions.
What?
Yes! Let's talk about relationships.
Oh man.
That's from Backdoor Shady Dealer. I like this whole thing.
I mean, that's not what the stream was supposed to be.
So how do you know if you're in love with someone?
Well...
Pelham, how do you know if you're in love with someone?
when you want to be around them all the time.
That's a start.
Similar interests, and then you don't want to leave each other's sight.
You only want to kill them some of the time?
It's true. You have similar tastes and distastes.
Distastes. They're really... The chat's like, Pelham, help! Hi, Inez. I'm glad you could make it.
What is this, Love Line all of a sudden?
Oh, man. Yeah, let's talk about the good stuff.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I think you're in love with someone when, someone's in love with their cat. We've helped them discover the relationships they didn't know they had.
Yes, Willow.
I was in love with, we just had a cat that needed to be put down. So,
that was a bummer.
We miss our cat so much. Her name was Willow. You all remember Will Beans? Oh man, we can't end craft tags without talking about Will Beans because a lot of them know who Will Beans was.
She was the best.
I was in love with Will Beans because she was always there and she made me feel like somebody cared where I was all the time, which is nice.
Since I was 18.
Not that you don't do that for me, but...
That's true. Her presence was always unconditional.
I liked her, yeah. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I had her for most of my life.
Yeah, you got her when you were 18, and how old are you now?
33.
33. So Will Beans was like... something math.
Up on 18.
18 years old.
Because also she was 1.5 when I got her, so that monkey's the
Oh, I see.
Bit. Yeah.
Oh, Will Beans says, or Squid Riddle says she was such a good girl. Will Beans!
Yep.
Wow, by that definition, me and my computer chair are getting married. Congrats, Fat and 40! I'm so happy we could
As long as it doesn't look like a race car chair.
No, if Fat and 40 is in love with a race car chair, they need to get married.
Race car chairs will love you and leave you.
For another race car chair.
Put their sunglasses on and roll right out the door.
Their little like gas station sunglasses.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not get rude about race car chairs.
It's the douche of the chair world.
No, but it is. You're right.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah, hit us with more of these good questions, guys. I'm really liking where this episode's going. We have 30 more minutes before we are gonna say goodbye forever. So hit us with crafting questions. If you guys are starting costumes or you're stuck on something, let's fix it. Get it done.
Oil painting counts as crafting.
Yeah.
If
you've got oil painting or art questions, Chris is here. He's been arting for a lot of his life. What do you think happens when you die? Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's
the sweet release of the grave.
I think it's exactly like before you were born, in that you aren't there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
That's roughly where I'm at.
We'll leave it at that.
I am open to suggestions. But
when you need time away from fantasy stuff, what do? Dinner at Applebee's? Definitely not that. Yeah, we talked earlier about playing video games, but we really like to go outside. We work in the same house that we live in together, so it really helps for us to...
Yeah. We can get cabin fevery pretty bad.
Yeah, we like to see the natures. Ooh, what is the tattoo on Chris's arm? Someone who's definitely not my dad just asked.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody.
Zoni steak.
Zoni steak is my dad, just in case you all wanted to know.
It's a sword through a dragon's skull. A friend of mine did it a week ago. It's almost healed.
Yeah.
I've been slapping it all week because apparently you're not supposed to scratch them. So.
Ever done film or TV, latex, face makeup, paint, fantasy? Ah. I just messed up that question. Oh, it's moving so fast! Hi, Dad! Yeah, Pelham, can you, oh, that's a little too far. Oh, wait. Go back up a little bit. Thank you. Ooh, what is the best cheap alternative to a dress form? I can answer that while Pelham finds that one other question. Wrap yourself in duct tape on top of a t-shirt.
With cellophane and then duct tape, right?
I mean, if you have like a long sleeve t-shirt or something that covers all your skin, you can cover yourself in duct tape. Usually you'll need a friend for this.
Close friend.
Yeah, close friend. And then you wrap yourself in duct tape, and then you cut it off, and then you tape it back together along the seams, and then you can stuff it with towels. And that was my first dress form. But
it literally keeps your shape.
Yeah, no,
accurately.
There's a lot of tutorials on online about cheap dress form thing. You could also fill it with expanding foam. That would probably be better than towels, and lighter, and then you're not using all of your towels.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, pause there. Go back up a little bit. More. Right there.
Did it
nope.
move again?
It's all moving. Never mind. Okay, go ahead and scroll to the bottom, and then everybody just ask your questions again. Go!
All because they wanted to say.
Ooh, Chris, do you tend to work in layers or more wet into wet?
Layers. I'm a layer guy for the most part. Like each work day is applied over dry paint. So yeah, it's usually like 3 to 5 days of stacking it like that. I use a dryer in my medium so I can get it to dry fairly quickly.
Your tattoo artist is in the chat. Alex says hi.
Hey, Alex. It's doing very well.
It is doing very well.
It's almost healed.
What video games do you enjoy most? Right now, I'm all about that Fortnite.
Obsessed.
Obsessed a little bit. I like it okay.
Danny's a demon at Fortnite, too.
No, I'm not. Don't say that.
Doesn't build anything. Sneaky snake the entire time. Doesn't shoot at anybody that's not already shooting at somebody else. So they never find her.
What material would you recommend on making a weapon? I really like Smooth-On's expanding foam stuff. They've got flexible foam, and you can mold it, so then you can paint over it, and it looks really realistic. I would use that if you're doing like LARP stuff.
Yeah, they have a ton of different like hardnesses and softnesses.
Yeah.
With it.
And you can get it really light. I really like that stuff. What material do you use for armor? Usually EVA foam mats.
You can buy at Harbor Freight
Yeah.
for nothing.
Punished Props has a ton of really cool foam tutorials, so find Punished Props on YouTube, and he's got a lot of really good information about that. What media would you like to try using but haven't had the chance? Fiberglass.
You want to use fiberglass?
Yeah, your turn though.
Oh, man. Oh, medium. I don't know. I haven't sculpted in a long time.
No, paint.
What? What paint medium do I want to use?
What kind of medium? Maybe
Oh,
you're
what
maybe you're
do
like
I use,
maybe
or
you're
what
like
do
I
I
really
use?
want to use pastels.
Oh, well, I don't think there is one that I haven't used, aside from like frescoes or something. I don't know.
Are you guys gonna come to a LuxCon and hang out? It looks kind of chill. No.
I wish I
Sadly,
had the time, but
yeah.
it's too far away.
We don't do cons anymore unless we're being flied out to be there for work.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, I used to do LXCon all the time, but the market for originals that I was selling there has changed a lot, and I like don't have any originals anymore to bring. So it kind of, changed the business side of it for me.
Yeah, and it's rough because we do try to, or we have tried a lot in the past to plan an event that we want to go to for fun, but then we go there and by the time the event happened, we've had to like schedule work stuff all around it, and then that one event becomes not as fun.
Like a stressor.
Yeah, instead of being a vacation, it's like, well, we gotta jam this vacation in with all this other work stuff right now, and you're just
Tough
like
to plan. But yeah, it stinks though, because that's one of the only ways that we see a lot of our friends that live far away, you know, like we just keep up with them online, but that used to be like where we would, you know, go to Gen Con, go to
a
LuxCon,
LuxCon
see
is
all
where
of
we
our
met.
Buddies, yeah. There's a picture of us meeting.
I'll have to post that picture soon. There's a
man.
picture of the moment we met because the LuxCon photographer happened to be standing there.
Freaking adorable.
That was adorable. And you were married. Blech.
Anyway.
Danny, are we still going to be able to send you mail gifts? Mail/gifts, not mail gifts. I read that wrong.
Male or female gifts are fine.
No, we don't accept gifts of any sort like that.
Okay.
I think we're canceling our P.O. box soon, right? And
well, yeah, with the move.
we're moving, so we don't know where to tell you to send stuff. But I'm flattered. Why don't you take a picture of it and tweet it to me until that kind of thing becomes a thing
Yeah,
again.
our life needs to be settled down again.
Hey, look, Anna Prosser's here. Hi, Anna Prosser. Hello.
Is that a picture of her waving?
Is that?
No, it's somebody else.
Where's the Anna Prosser emote?
I know.
Jeez.
Should at least be Evelyn emotes.
I think, do we have, yeah. Pelham says, yeah, there's a...
Oh, they're all coming, I bet.
Anna, we love you too.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my goodness. But yeah, if we missed your question, hit us again. Any of them.
Oh, there it is.
If you could throw your worst enemy into a pit with any D&D monster, what monster would it be? A flail snail.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. There's so many.
There are so many. There's so
They're
many
all
good
so
ones.
good.
I would want it to be something annoying, like something that wouldn't just take them out. Like if I want to torture somebody, it's going to be something like embarrassing.
I want something like a doppelganger. So they have to
They get
fight
killed by
They have to fight themselves.
Yeah, we're not evil at all.
We totally don't have enemies.
More questions, more questions. Worst one is a mind flayer. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Question. What food would you make out of a unicorn? Oboe Crazy, there you are with the good questions. I'm glad you're here.
A nice rainbow steak.
By the way, Oboe Crazy, if you could post the Discord link anytime now, that would be super awesome. I know people have been asking for it. I'm going to tweet it too, in case we can't get that up yet. But what I make out of a unicorn? Man.
I bet they're delicious.
Probably like a unicorn taco or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like some really nice like sautéed meat with. Man, what do you even put with unicorn? Some nice sparkly sauce.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
No eating unis. Yeah, well. Oh, hey, thank you. Oh, crazy. There's the Discord link for any of you who want to connect with all the other people in the chat who make stuff or just find some community. Go there.
Don't unicorns poop ice cream?
Oh, man. Okay, so if it's like a unicorn ice cream sandwich. Anyway.
From unicorn milk?
Ew!
I'm just asking what you mean.
I don't know what I mean. Ooh, unicorn spam musubi. I could get behind
Yeah,
that.
I had spam musubi like 2 days ago.
You had it last night.
Delicious. Oh yeah, that was last night.
What day is it?
Yeah.
We've been gone from home for a long
This
time.
push
We
is
don't know what the
turning my mind
the
into
world.
a blur.
It's fine. Let's see how many minutes we have. 15 minutes, guys. Only 15 minutes to ask us anything you want.
Any more questions on the Twitter?
I think the Twitter is no. I don't see any new ones.
They're all just
They're all
cool.
doop doop doop. Yeah. If anybody else wants to help me move, now's the time to tweet.
Hello, strangers. Here are my things.
I don't need help moving because apparently my dad and sister are all over it.
I'm gonna make Tyler drive out.
Tyler will have to be there.
Yeah.
It's
he already
part of his
volunteered.
friendship responsibilities.
It's true.
If you could travel to any time, when would you go to? Chris, which of your current magic pieces are you most proud of the turnout? Where can we see the skull painting series? At Chris Run Art on Instagram.
Yeah.
You'll have to scroll back a little bit. What else did I ask you?
Finals, which would be what?
Which one's your favorite?
Dominaria.
I already forgot the other one.
I was really stoked to be able to do the new Llanowar Elves. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Really
I'm
liked
really
the way that
nervous
came
whenever
out.
you talk about magic stuff because I can't keep track of what's
I
secret
know
and
what's
what's
out.
not secret.
And fun fact, the girl on Llanowar Elves is based a lot on Danny because she posed for it. So if you notice a
I
resemblance,
pose for a lot of his
that's,
art, so sometimes there's
that one
actually
in particular though.
there's
'cause you fit
actually
it so
one
well.
piece specifically that is just a copy of my face. That do they know about it?
Chitinous cloak.
Chitinous Cloak is a card that he made. How
Your
many
face
years
is
ago?
pretty small in it, but you can see it on my Instagram.
It's
and then
very
zoom in.
small, but yeah, Google Chitinous Cloak. That's
I don't even remember what set that was in. It was probably like 2 years ago, something like that.
yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
I forgot the other question that I saw.
Favorite D&D character you have ever made?
Are you guys going to disappear into Seattle like many other artists? Like Cynthia? Cynthia's in the building! We know exactly where she went.
She's not hiding anywhere.
Did you work on the plane shift art?
No, I did not. That was before my time.
He's not that old.
No, I've been working on finals for Magic since Alara, but I've only been doing concept art for him for like 3 years. So.
What's your favorite D&D character you've ever made? Scrummy. I also really like Wiley, which I played on Misclicks. She's a half-orc mystic who acts like she's 15 years old. She's a lot of fun.
I think my favorite one was Blunt Trauma from that game.
Blunt Trauma?
But, Richie was running this like fantasy World War II fighting the Nazis game, and I played a D&D dwarf that got pulled through a portal from the Forgotten Realms, and he was trying to blend in the United States in the 40s. So all of his gear was from Sears and Roebuck, including like 2 like camping hatchets, and he had like a flannel, and I rolled like a really lame griffin as my bogey pet. So it's a tiny griffin that's like really sickly that he takes care of and carries everywhere, but he insists that it's a bald eagle because he's trying to be really American all the time.
It's really funny. Somebody asked, what's the best material for a sword and a shield? If you're just starting out, I would say EVA foam. Again, check out Punished Props. He does awesome stuff. If you don't want something squishy and you want something durable, I would say Warbla. Check out Kamui Cosplay, Kamui Cosplay. She's done a lot of cool stuff there, and they can both help you out. Man.
Yeah, EVA foam's really fun to work with the heat gun. Like you can bend it and kind of like...
I really like carving into it and getting all the textures.
Yeah, all the dremeling, like on the Giant's helmet was...
Yeah, the whole Giant's helmet
cool.
was made of EVA foam and then like a wooden frame. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And same with Dinar's armor. That was all EVA foam too.
Stacked up, yeah.
Okay. Oh, look it. There's Oboe Crazy with the Kamui cosplay stuff. Thank you, Oboe Crazy, by the way. You've made this show so much better. I just got a text. Oh, no. That's not what I want at all. I was going to check the Twitter. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I need to say thank you to Sirenscape. They've been providing all the awesome sounds that we get to listen to all the time. Sirenscape is really awesome if you're going to play games and you just need some like background noise to get your players in the mood. They have sci-fi stuff too, not just fantasy, and it's super affordable if you run that kind of stuff. Or I really just like to play it when I'm working because sometimes I can't focus on a podcast.
Like nature sounds.
Yeah, and like you can like listen to the rain and the birdies.
It's crazy how adjustable it is too. Like there's all these sliders
for
every element.
Like I really don't like some of the like bug noises that they have in there because well no, like if you're adventuring through a swamp and you want your players to be like, ew, there's like bees flying by my ears.
Yeah. It's not like, a soothing experience.
You can turn down the bees and leave the birdies and the crickets, which are very nice. But yeah, Sirenscape's awesome. They don't just do nature noises. They have like battle music and like, you need to look it up. It's freaking crazy. Everybody check out Sirenscape. Did Danny get hired by WotC? No. So I'm a contractor is what it's technically called. I'm not an employee. I can't hashtag WotC staff on my tweets.
No.
But
well, you're doing what I do right now, where we get called in to do concept art for a certain amount of time. It's usually 3 weeks.
Yeah. The only new part is that I get to help design the worlds now a little bit, which is new for me and very exciting. I am doing mostly costume design for peoples and races I cannot talk about, but it's super fun and I love it, and it's a lot easier than trying to make them in real life. So
it's definitely helpful having somebody on the team who actually knows how clothes work.
Hey, I'm glad I can help. You guys are really good at like character design and like creature design and stuff too.
We all have our strengths. But
yeah,
you just have to wear so many hats that sometimes it's a little tough.
Yep. But yeah, it is still a very special announcement. It's a thing I've always wanted to do, so it's just as exciting, and it's only a technicality that I don't work here. But yeah, they act like I work here, which is nice.
Yeah.
They're my family. Look it, they gave me a badge.
A retractable badge.
I've always wanted a badge, okay?
It's true. It's like Thor's
really
hammer.
Cool.
You can throw it at people, it'll come back.
And hit me in the face.
Yeah. Well, so will his if he doesn't catch it.
Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, yes, I also want to thank Pelham. He's been super awesome taking care of all this stuff while I've been streaming from here. And it's way easier to stream from here than it is from home.
The studio's amazing.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it before
It
today.
looks and sounds better, I'm sure, than the ones that I do at home. But yeah, thank you, Pelham. He's made it look really pretty.
I'm sure they're getting a level of
everybody
detail
thank
that they
Pelham.
don't want.
Yeah. Cameras are nicer here. But yeah, is there anything else I want to say? You guys have been awesome. Like honestly, Craft Hags has been really fun for me, but also really hard for me at times, depending on how busy I've been. But you guys being online and coming together and making friends with each other has been very meaningful to me and super cool, and thank you for supporting everything I've done and encouraging me. It really made a difference at times, knowing that there were some people out there that cared.
Well, just seeing that there's thousands of people that are interested in the same things that you are.
Yeah, I'm really glad I could bring together a few people that, you know, have interest in D&D, but also have interest in making things, and, you know, whatever that means for you. I know some of you like crochet or knit, and some of you paint minis, and some of you like to make cool books and, you know, little props and stuff. Obviously cosplay, but yeah, it's oh no, they're gonna spam the bleeding purple hearts. Oh, and thank you everybody. You guys are amazing. But yeah. Take care, safe move, and remember to triple duct tape wrap your toy box when you move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, the lights went out. But yeah, I think we're going to sign off here a couple minutes early so that we can let Pelham go to lunch and stuff. But yeah, there is no other streaming on the channel today as far as... Dark and Dicey is later tonight. Do you know what time? 7. So there's no Tito today, thank God. But we do have Dark and Dicey later. Thanks again, Pelham, and thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could all meet my husband. He's pretty okay.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Alrighty. But yeah, we will see you guys later, and I will see you guys on the internets. I'm at Danny Hartel. You can keep up with me there. But yeah, bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Hurry, turn it off before I cry.